Well, I think typically when people, when you have a discussion on what your biggest challenge are and what's the hardest thing to do, I think the first thing that pops in your mind is the fundraising piece, because the revenue is so huge in our business today, being able to have the resources to go forward. But when I sit and really think about what is the most difficult thing that I have to do that is most pressing, is just working with a very diverse group of people, just a large number of people that are different ages, different backgrounds, different genders, and trying to help them all be successful and to grow. And so the burdens of trying to not maybe accommodate, but to set a path, a plan for a large group to all kind of go the same direction, I think is probably the most difficult task. All kinds of wins, and so when I say that, the essence of working in this business is probably when you look at it just very close, is people are going to think, well, the more championships you win, then the more rewards you get, and that definitely is a part of it. But it's all kinds of wins, and primarily around the student athletes. To see a young person come in as a freshman and to watch them grow, to see student athletes walk across the stage and graduate, to see a big project come together and everybody get on board and you work as a team. I think, and once again, the rewards of the job, just as the challenges of the jobs, I think revolve around working with a diverse group of people. I think the rewards of the job is seeing that group have successes in all different levels and in all different paths of the business that we work in. Probably perseverance, probably being able to stay on task and to continue just to be able to push yourself every day. It's a 24/7 job. It's 12 months a year, and so I think being able to be able to meet all the challenges and to keep your energy level up and to really look forward to coming into the office every day, I think has been. I think the level of work ethic that I can put into the job has been huge. I would say the other skill that I think that's really helped me as I've grown in the business is just to be able to really mediate situations and to help people collaborate, and to be able to build teams has been a huge payoff for me. The best advice I ever got, I don't know if it was ever actually said in words, but more by expectations and a life example, and that was from my parents. And they established a culture for us when we were growing up that our responsibility was to be the best we could be in any situation we found ourselves, to work as hard as you could and to do not 100% but 110%, to do that give that one extra effort, study a little bit longer, practice practice a little bit harder, so that you could be the best you can be. I think in advising young administrators today, I think sometimes they are on a much faster timeline. They want things to happen really quickly, and so I think one of my advice is you've got to have patience. The other thing is to really take advantage of every job opportunity that you have. Networking is extremely important. And when I look back on my career, if I had done a better job of that, I might have opened some other doors. But I really believe that the best thing you can do to advance your career is do a really good job with the job you got. Me and technology has not always been real good. I am better. You know, and I thank goodness I have experts on our staff who handle all that. But I have improved, and I am really into tweeting. I love to work with my Twitter account, and especially during football season, because I walk all the tailgate parties and just send pictures and notes out prior to the game. Or when we're on the road, I try to give our fans a little bit of an inside view of what it is to get on the plane, and then when we arrive at the hotel, and try to be very, very careful. Just fun things, simple things, and not anything deep and controversial. So my daughter has now promised that she's going to get me on Facebook, so that'll be my next big thing. I think here in the office on our staff, the technology piece, the social media piece is huge. And so we are really investigating and trying to go everywhere we can to listen to people on how do you be out on the edge? How do you do things new and different? Because our big concern is keeping the interest of our student body in our events, and even to, you know, our alumni, the fans from the community. What are the things you have to put into place that keeps them engaged in the games, engaged with your program? Because that is the future. I think the difficulty we have is we can find some really neat ideas, and we don't have the resources to do it. So we've not only got to be really looking at new technology and how do we put in place, but we've got to be very creative and efficient just because of the lack of resources that we have. I think personally, it's been my parents and my husband. They have had great influence on me and have always supported me. I've had a group of family members that have always helped me to believe that I could do anything that I set out to do. And what is amazing about that is the time period when I grew up, there wasn't a lot of thought about girls ever doing what I've had the opportunity to do as a student athlete, much less as a college coach and a college administrator. So to have that internal support has been great. Professionally, I've had some outstanding people that have always been there for me. DeLoss Dodds was my first real mentor. Then when I got to Texas A&M, I was working with the likes of John David Crow and Wally Groff, and then coming to UTSA, and you have a college president that 15 years ago had the courage to hire a female to be the director of athletics at his growing university. So just have had some great people like that. I always haven't had a lot of women mentors because there were so few of us in the business, and especially when I was in College Station at Texas A&M, because when I arrived there, women had really only been on campus for about 10 years. So it was a very unique situation. When I came to San Antonio for the first time, really had some women leaders that have been very, very influential on me. And Dr. Susan Blackwood, who ran San Antonio sports for a long time, has been a great friend and mentor. Cindy Taylor Cryer, who was on the Board of Regents and had been a former state senator and a county judge here in San Antonio, has been a huge person for me since I've been in San Antonio. So been very, very blessed that I've had a variety of people both within my family, professionally, and now starting to really be able to develop these female mentors and work side by side with them because now I'm at a point in my career where I really want to help open the door for other young women. I would have to say the biggest has been just the opportunity for women. I mean, how athletics has opened its doors not only for student athletes to compete, female student athletes to compete, but then for employment in the business has totally changed. You know, when I grew up in Oklahoma, we didn't even play 5-on-5 basketball. We were limited to playing half court. The longest race I ran when I started track was the only thing they offered was a 440-yard run. And so there was just real limitations because there wasn't an understanding yet or opportunities for girls and women to compete. By the time I was a senior in high school and got into college, things started exploding. So I'm a little bit pre-Title IX, but about the time I finished college, all those new opportunities started to open. So I think the way that athletics has changed most for me has just been that there's a place for a person like me in the world of athletics. That was never available before. And then I think the other thing that has changed so much in athletics is just the visibility because of the media, because of television. I mean, the world has changed in the value and the money involved in it. So I think both on the two biggest changes I've seen have been with the opportunities for women and girls in sports, and then the amount of resources and the visibility that athletics has in our world today.